I think I've met some of you people before. I know I've met the Admiral. I've designed this to be like a driving tour of the northern neck of Virginia and picking up the historical sites that I know about. Some of you may know about others. Let's picture ourselves now driving across from Middlesex County to North Bridge, and before the next couple of years there's going to be a historical road sign right there, a brand new one, which I'll talk about. But let's drive all the way down and we'll go into Whitestone and we'll go down to Windmill Point. Windmill Point, on the 23rd of April, the British came ashore there. I'm not going to read it for you, you can read it. Windmill Point was important locations for the observation point. We had people down there throughout the entire war period, well, 1813 and 1814 and January, February of 1815. And the lookouts, bids, they were called, they were informing the commanders and so forth. Let me get rid of this little publication I'm talking about first. This is a publication on the encounters of the British in Virginia during the War of 1812. Our society put this out. I was the compiler of it. It's a chronological list of the encounters with the British in Virginia. 287 of them we had identified in here. And we sold out of these copies, but I have a new chronological list that without the maps and so forth that are revised last December 2010. These two I can leave here. I've got to take this one back. This is available in the Maryborough Museum Library and I think in the Lancaster Library. Okay, next slide. Down there at Windmill Point, if you've been down there, there is this sign. During the War of 1812, the British blockaded the Chesapeake Bay, as they did, and sent raiding vessels up the rivers and creeks to plunder and destroy property. You look out at Windmill Point, about 1 mile east. This is on what they call Fleet's Island. Reported on 23 April, the enemy landed near Windmill Point, and they're not quite sure just where that was, and it's basically what I had in the slide previously. They fired at the British and chased them on off, but and this says this is the final raid of the War of 1812. Lancaster County, that's a little bit questionable, but it basically is true. Okay, next slide. Next we'll drive up through Whitestone and we'll go into Irving and we'll go into the Christ Church. A couple years ago we put this plaque at Christ Church there on the entrance to it. Our society did. Along with the founders and patriots of America, which I'm past governor of in Virginia, and the U.S. Daughters War of 1812. But in this cemetery is a James Kelly, a Revolutionary War patriot, and 6 of his sons were in the War of 1812. Now, not all of them are buried there, but they're memorialized there. And we had put grave markers on their grave. Next slide. We're a small cemetery, and here they got covers over them because this is part of the ceremony that we were conducting a couple of years ago, and we unveiled the markers for these 6 1812 soldiers. So this is kind of a historic site that I would recommend that people would visit if you were wanting to see them all. Oh, next. Now, I got to tell you about a couple things that happened here, and in 1813, now, 1813, 1814 is when we were involved in Virginia, and some of 1815, the first 2 months. The war was over, treaty signed in December of 1814 over in Europe, but the war didn't get over here for a month or so, and then we had the Battle of New Orleans, I think the 10th of January 1815, and we had incursions in Virginia here was late in the middle of February 1815. But the schooner Highflyer was captured at the mouth of the Rappahannock River on this time. And then he chased 4 other schooners up the Rappahannock, and we had a 4-hour battle, and they captured these 4 schooners. Now there's going to be a historical road sign placed either this year or next year, approved by VDOT, approved by the Department of Historical Resources.